Hello, beautiful vloggers. It's your girl Shay. I am here to bring you the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reunion part 2. And make sure you like, subscribe, and check out the timestamps in the description box if you want to move ahead or whatever. So let us begin because we have to get started with the whole drama surrounding the situation with Joseline, because Joseline was not here for it. Joseline was not here for it at all, and she let it be known. She is sick of everything. You know, the last episode, the way that they talked about it was that Joseline didn't want to come on stage because she just wanted to sit next to Stevie, Jessica, and Melissa. Well, when I heard her speaking today, it sounded more like she was saying she only wanted to film with Stevie, Jessica, and Melissa. That she didn't want to be up there with anybody. Like, basically, she wanted to be filmed off to the side without the rest of the cast. Which I'm guessing she didn't want to get into it with Tommie or whoever else she had beef with. And, it's the whole issue with Mimi and the Child Protective Services and all of that stuff. So I guess she was trying to avoid all of that stuff because she feels like she's in a different place. But Love and Hip Hop producers wasn't having it. And they like, this is part of your contract. This is what you need to do. And then they took the cameras outside and filmed her. And she's like, well, they talking about holding my contract. They can suck my what and all of this stuff, and I'm about to film movies. And she was just like letting them have it. Like, basically she feel like she's better than that and she's better than them in so many words. Like, she was like, F Love and Hip Hop, I am Love and Hip Hop. And you can't lie, like, for many years Love and Hip Hop was about Joseline and Stevie and the love triangle with Mimi. So yeah, I mean, everybody remembers her walking in going, hey maid, and all of that stuff. So yeah, for many years Joseline was part of why people watch the show. Joseline, Stevie, and Mimi were the central characters of the show, and everybody else just kind of fell into place. So yeah, she has every right to feel like she kind of helped build the brand, but at the same time, when you're under contract, they don't really give a shit. And that's basically where they were coming from. They were like, we don't care if you saying that you only want to film with certain people. We don't care if you feeling like you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. You're going to get your ass up and do what we told you to do. And Joseline was like, no, that's not how I roll. That's not what I do. Excuse me. So, she wasn't here for it. She wasn't having it. Then they cut back to Stevie. He on the stage and he basically let it be known that she quit. And Nina Parker was like really surprised to find out that she quit. But I'm like, I wasn't that surprised when you hear somebody say F Love and Hip Hop and F this and I am Love and Hip Hop, and basically she telling you I'm bigger than the show. I am the show. So you shouldn't be surprised that she quit, because if she feels like she's not getting preferential treatment, she about to walk away, because at the end of the day, in her mind, you wouldn't have this brand if it wasn't for her, which is partially true. But Love and Hip Hop is an ensemble cast, because I remember when Love and Hip Hop first started, it was also the big beef about Rashida and K. Michelle, and what really happened with Memphis, and had he really beat her when they were together and all of that stuff. So Joseline, Mimi, and Stevie were a big part of it, but they weren't the only part that made Love and Hip Hop successful. However, they were a big part of it. So she does feel some type of way, and Stevie was like, she has to understand that this is not the Joseline show, and that's what she wants, and she's not about to get special treatment. She's not about to get preferential treatment. He lost respect for her when it came to all the stuff with his kids. I mean, I have to be honest, I lost respect for Joseline when I found out she was talking about his daughter and called her in so many words, a nappy-headed hoe. She called her a hoe, and then she said with your nappy-ass head or something like that, and I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And you raising a little black girl, like, I lost a lot of respect for Joseline on that. And then to find out the whole situation, like, Mimi is telling a totally different story than the one Joseline is telling, because Joseline just tells the story like the whole situation with the allegations as far as Child Protective Services being called about Eva and all of that stuff. Mimi and Stevie's daughter, the whole situation was supposedly just that Mimi's cousin had given Joseline all this information, and that she didn't really know how CPS got involved or whatever. Now, some people saying that Joseline called, some people saying that she didn't, but Mimi flat out said that she did, and that she called and made all these allegations with social services, and that, you know, they did a 90-day investigation with the state of Georgia, and that they was searching her home and her cabinets and her refrigerator and all of this stuff. And Stevie kept saying like, yeah, man, too, they came to my house too, they searched my stuff too. So, you know, they was just feeling some type of way, and Mimi was like, she just done with her, because Mimi feels like there is no ceiling, there is no cap for what Joseline is willing to do. Well, she just feels like there is no low that Joseline is not willing to stoop to. Like, she just will do anything to get back at people, and, you know, Mimi just not here for it. And I can understand that Stevie is in between the rock and the hard place, because he did make a comment like he's still gonna be sleeping with Joseline. So, you know, I don't understand how a man could sleep with a woman who called social services, and even if she didn't call social services, she was still on social media telling people that you molested your kid. Like, I don't know what man would still want to sleep with a woman who accused him of being a child molester. But I guess whatever, Stevie. Like, Stevie is a cool dude. He seemed like really funny, really down to earth, but that's, think it's with a little head on a whole other level. Like, the sex can't be that great that you will overlook her completely damaging your character, calling into question your integrity as a man, as a father, and you would still have sex with her. Like, okay, if you like it, I love it. So anyway, let's move on. So the next thing on the list was like, it was like a bunch of random drama that I noticed. And you know, one of those things was like them talking about the Jamaica trip and how Kirk popped up on Rashida. Rashida didn't really appreciate it. I'm like, yo, whatever. They drama to me, on one hand, it feels real because it seems like Rashida's still in a lot of pain. But sometimes it can seem really manufactured. So I don't know with them. Like, I just don't understand what woman would be on TV and continue to let a man just completely embarrass her and embarrass her year after year. And your ass will probably be back for another season and he'll be embarrassing your ass again. Like, all right, girl. I mean, cry for me, Argentina, or don't cry for me, or whatever you do. So anyway, then they talked about Jock and how they couldn't understand how Jock popped up in Jamaica, which is this very romantic location, destination, or whatever, with his intern. Like, what intern is being brought to Jamaica by her boss? So, you know, they was just like throwing him a little shade, like, what was you doing with your intern Treasure, you know, in Jamaica, or whatever. So he like, you know, nothing happened, all of this stuff. And then out of nowhere, Treasure starts saying like, you know, these Atlanta girls, they could be so hostile and all this stuff, which is true. Like, they got mad at her for saying it, but if you think about it, the Atlanta girls can be kind of hostile. They are quick to whoop a bitch ass. Like, they done had a physical fight every single season. Think about it. Like, name one season where there hasn't been at least one fight. Like, the Atlanta girls can be a little hostile. Like, I mean, don't shoot the messenger, but it's true. They can be. Name one season they haven't had a fight. So Jessica Dime, which I still like Jessica Dime, she's funny to me. She did not like that comment. She basically told Treasure like, I'll whoop your ass again, da 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 da. And Treasure was like, you ain't even really touched me, this and that. All you did was shifted my wig or whatever. And then Jessica started getting amped like, I will beat your ass. And that's when I had to rewind it. And Treasure was talking about, I call the police on you. I was like, oh baby, like, she is, I don't know. I've read on social media that she's been telling people that she's coming back for another season. I don't know how you gonna make it, boo. Like, are you gonna call 911 every single scene you have? Like, I don't know what you gonna do. Like, I don't. This may not be the show for you. I'm just saying. But anyway, you know, so that happened or whatever. I just, Treasure, girl, just keep it moving. I don't know what to tell you. She's a pretty girl, but she should just like be seen and not heard. She pretty, but she not that bright. Anyway, lovely Mimi, and you know, she was still on there looking like a bejeweled Teletubby. I don't know who told her that outfit was cute. Like, I don't know what vlogger I was watching that said that she had rhinestones on her fat rolls. Like, that was me. I would never say something like that, but I did laugh. But her outfit was a hot ass mess. It looked like it was like made in somebody's backyard or basement or something like that. Like, she bought that shit at the gas station. That shit was a mess. But anyway, she was real tough. You know, she's a thug now. I didn't know she was such a gangster. Like, she's so tough. And she was telling Karlie how she'll whoop her ass, and I checked your ass, and you ain't say nothing, and all of this stuff. And then Tommie got involved and was like, you know, Karlie pretending like she never said nothing, but Karlie said that Mimi belongs in a circus. And I'm like, well, kind of with the way she acting and then with that outfit, like, she could be a performer. She could be like, you know, let me stop. Let me not be mean, but I mean, that outfit, she looked like an ice skater with that outfit on. Like, I didn't get it, but anyway, yeah, so she was going back and forth with Karlie with her little attitude and stuff like that. I was like, okay, whatever. And then Karlie had some more beef with the girl Estelita, but at least they was able to, she had more beef in the season with Estelita, but on the reunion, they was able to squash it. Although the girl Estelita apologized to Karlie for all of the jokes, calling her old and stuff like that. But then Karlie wouldn't apologize for throwing all the vegetables on her. Well, I mean, Karlie wasn't sorry, so it is what it is. But Karlie wasn't here for it. So I guess Estelita was being a bigger person, and Karlie was like, I don't give a shit. So then we move on. You know, Tommie has so many issues going on between her and her mom. You know, I was one of the people who saw the long, drawn out video that KK made about Tommie. KK did like a 45-50 minute video where she just dragged Tommie for filth about how she was wearing her shoes, how she kept going to jail, and all this stuff. Well, one of the things that stuck out to me was that when KK was talking about Tommie and her relationship with her mother, KK said that Tommie, she said that most of their stuff with their relationship was, they was faking it for the TV. That they have had some issues in a relationship as mother and daughter, but they exaggerated it for the show. So basically, like, they had maybe some arguments or spats back and forth, but a lot of it was exaggerated. But I don't know how much of that Tommie could really exaggerate, because if her mother really did drop her off at juvie and just leave her, that would leave scars. Like, that would emotionally damage a person. That would mentally affect a person. So I mean, maybe, you know, people do play things up for a reality show, but people not just, I mean, I don't think that she just making up that my mama was leaving me at juvenile centers, and that you really wasn't there for me, and you taught me how to be a scammer and all of this stuff. Like, she was like, my mother didn't teach me how to be a hoe, my mama taught me how to scam people and all of this stuff. And I was just like, whoa. So, you know, and then she said that KK and other people was basically applauding her for not growing up to be a hoe, because she learned actually how to scheme and scam instead of hoeing. So it's like, you on one hand knocking me, but on the other hand you applauding me. That's what Tommie was saying about KK. And then KK came on, and then they start getting into it and all of this stuff. And, you know, KK was basically like, if the bitch don't thank me for bringing her to Love and Hip Hop, she going to jail. And I was just like, you know, for all the stuff that people have talked about KK, for all the stuff that KK has been through, I would hate to see KK, you know, try to bring the law into wanting somebody to be grateful. Like, if you know that what all this girl been through, if you tried to help her out, if you know she was dating your son, and Tommie said that at one point you said you wanted your son to marry me. But in that video, KK said her, Tommie and Scrap was never really together like that. Like, that was put on for the show. But, you know, so it was all of this stuff. Like, KK and Tommie are telling two very different stories. But at the same time, Tommie's story to me makes sense, especially, like, I can't speak on the relationship with Scrap because all of that happened before the show aired. But the situation with her mom, like, who is going to lie about being left in juvenile hall? Like, who is going to lie about that? So I kind of had to side with Tommie on that, even though the way that KK dragged her in that Instagram video, you had to see it to believe it. Now, some of that shit was funny as hell, especially the part about the shoes. But when it came to watching it on here, you know, KK, she lost a couple points with me because I really did not like watching her or listening to her say she was gonna call the police on her, or basically, if she don't thank me for what I did for her, she gonna go to jail. Like, I can't stand people who be like, I'm gonna look out for you and I'm gonna help you. But then if you don't do what I want you to do, then I'm gonna throw it in your face. So you really didn't help me. You helped yourself because you just wanted to use that as a way to, you know what I'm saying, knock me over the head with something and tell me what you've done for me when you was really supposed to be looking out for me. Like, who is you really looking out for? Like, KK lost a couple points in my book for that. But that's just that. I hope that, you know, Tommie is able to make up with her mom or whatever. Jessica Dime did, like, make a comment that she experienced the same thing, that she was left in juvie as well, and that she hopes that she can mend things with her mom because you only get one mom and all of this stuff. So I thought that was really nice of Jessica Dime to say. But she said that while Tommie was not on camera because Tommie had walked off stage because she didn't want to talk about her mom and she didn't want to cry and she didn't want anybody to use her being weak and or vulnerable in that moment against her, which I understand. So kudos to Tommie. I hope that everything works out for her and that she's able to get everything straight. And hopefully, you know, her and KK can just sever ties and not take this to the authorities and all of that stuff. Like, I hate that she really said that if she don't thank me, she going to jail. Like, who? Girl, you canceled out all the stuff you said about wanting to help her and helping her and doing all this stuff. Like, I really have always liked KK. I never really had a problem with her. I still don't dislike KK. I don't dislike her, but I just don't think that that's a okay statement to make. Like, you shouldn't threaten somebody in that way, especially somebody who's already been through that, and it's one of their biggest things that they don't want to go back. And she got an ongoing case with the whole Joseline situation. Like, that wasn't cool, in my opinion. But anyway, so then we move on to Melissa and Mimi. And Melissa thinks that Mimi and Joseline one day will be cool again. And because, you know, Melissa feels some type of way. Like, everybody feels some type of way. Like, why Mimi can be cool with certain people who cool with Joseline, but she can't with Melissa. Because Karlie cool with Melissa. I mean, Karlie cool with Joseline, but she can't be cool with Melissa, even though Melissa with Joseline. I think it really comes down to Mimi had sex with Melissa. So she don't want somebody who she was intimate with to be friends with her enemy. That's what I really think it is, because she don't really want Stevie to have anything to do with Joseline either, but that's more because they got a kid together. That's another story too. But I think that when it's all said and done, Joseline was also upset to find out that Ariane and Melissa had a sexual relationship and all of that stuff. But Melissa tripped me out when she made the comment talking about one day Joseline and Mimi will be so cool again. They'll be exchanging daughters. Like, did you just not hear the whole story? She talked about that this woman called Child Protective Services, and it was a 90-day investigation, all this stuff. You out your damn mind. You think my daughter will be hanging out with this woman again? You crazy as hell. Like, I was looking at Melissa like, what? Are you living in an alternate universe? Like, were you listening to the same conversation I was listening to? You clearly could not have been. I was like, okay, girl. So then they, you know, start talking to Ariane about the whole situation, because Ariane and Mimi start whispering about Melissa. So Melissa like, well, what who has to say what? Like, she checking the situation, like, what? Who got anything to say? So Ariane was like, you know, I don't want to really call her opportunistic, but, and then, you know, but when you say something like, I don't want to call you that, but you really are calling the person that. So Melissa like, well, why am I opportunistic? Ariane could never really give an answer. She never did. Melissa was like, you so fake, you know, you do this whole supposedly you going green and all of this stuff, and it was kind of funny. She was like, you going green and all this da 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 da, and Ariane was like, I'm not going green, I just eat good and I eat a lot of greens and stuff like that so I can look healthy, and you just mad because my body look better than yours. And Melissa was like, your body's supposed to look better than mine, you wear dresses. And I thought that was funny because Ariel definitely, she looked cute in her little outfit. Yeah, she looked cute. And then, but Melissa had like her suit on, so it was so funny when she was like, yeah, you supposed to look good in dresses, because you supposed to look good, you're supposed to look better than me without your clothes on, because you wear dresses, I don't. So shit, get over yourself. And then the last thing that they talked about was Scrappy and Bambi and everything. And Mama D has always wanted them to get married and have kids and all of that stuff. And, you know, hopefully Scrappy finds somebody. He has moved. He is now living in Miami. Bambi wasn't on the show. I kind of missed her. I wanted to see Bambi, see what she wears. Bambi is a hit or miss with her fashion, so I kind of want to see what she was going to wear. But, you know, people was talking about a lot of the fashion. Like, Mimi looked a mess. Lovely Mimi, she looked a mess. Tommie, people was talking about Tommie outfit. You know, I really felt for Tommie this episode, but I don't know who styled that outfit, that with the green shoulder pads and and the capris, and oh child, it was a lot going on with that outfit. And then she had the side haircut with the ponytail in the back. I was like, it's a lot going on with that outfit. They just look like they put every trend and every style all in one look. But she's still a very pretty lady, but she's a pretty chick. But that look was very all over the place. So the fashions was it left a lot to be desired. Somebody pointed out, I didn't even notice it. Somebody pointed out that Rashida and Kirk, they playing a role pretending like they not really getting along, because they was basically wearing matching outfits. And I had to look again like, damn, they are kind of matching. So that's why I'm like, them two, every season they gonna come up with a new he cheating storyline. Like, girl, why don't you come up with a storyline where your ass is cheating? Why don't you get some? Why you gotta sit around and be the doormat while his ass keep doing what he doing? Like, whatever, child. Like Tamar said, don't be a highway. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them keep rolling over you. Don't let them keep running over you. People said she was talking about Tiny, but I don't know who she was talking about. But I'm just saying, that was a good statement, because at the end of the day, Rashida, you a highway right now. You are a doormat. You letting that man just do whatever he want, whenever he want. Like, girl, get it together. Oh, and Mama D also was announcing. I don't understand why she was telling about her sex life. Like, I don't need to know that you still get wet. I don't need to know that. And she said that Ernest is finally paying bills. She do not treat him like he is her man. And she basically said she the giver and he's the taker and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, girl, whatever you say. But anyway, it was pretty good. I liked it. I'm excited to see what's going on with Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. What's gonna be happening. Anyway, let me know what y'all thought. Did y'all enjoy? What y'all like? What y'all didn't like? What y'all think about the whole situation between KK and Tommie? I thought that was crazy. I thought some of the comments were kind of cruel. But that was just my interpretation. Tell me how you was feeling. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later. Mwah. Bye-bye.